Welcome to Swords, Spears, and Arrows with Camille Babin, a podcast that features messages on spiritual formation, soul care, and a book club to help you win the battle within.
Hello and welcome to Swords, Spears, and Arrows. I'm your host, Camille Babin. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. I cannot wait to share what I have today, what's on my mind. It's the title today is just Time to Pivot. Time to Pivot. I was in the kitchen last week and I was getting ready. I was just prepping everything. And the knife that I was holding, I kept on going, but it wasn't sharp enough. I couldn't, get what I just couldn't get things done. And it was slowing me down. And I just kept on going. And all of a sudden I said, Camille, just use another knife. And that's what I did. That's really what I did. It was like, yes, you should have thought about it sooner. But I was just forcing. It's just like, no, that's the first knife I picked and I'm going to do it. I was so determined. No, I'm going to do it with the knife. But then at some point I realized you're wasting your time and it's going to just ruin the thing. Just go faster and use another knife. Simply, you have knives to choose from. It's not that you don't have anything else. So automatically, I just put the knife down and I grabbed another one. And yes, it just went faster and much better. And I avoided the frustration that I was starting even to feel. And why am I even giving you that example? Because I feel like we are in a season, or maybe for some of you, you may feel like you're in a season where things don't seem to be moving. You feel like you hit a plateau, you hit a ceiling, or you don't see, it's just like you're in a dead end. You don't see the way forward. You don't see what's next. You don't have complete clarity even on what to do or where to go. And you're starting to feel exhausted. You're starting to feel overwhelmed. You're starting to feel defeated. And discouragement is even trying to set in. And I'm here today just to encourage you, because almost all of us, I won't even say most of us, but all of us have reached this point in our lives. Maybe we're not in that season anymore, but we know we can relate. We know what it is when you feel like all of your efforts don't produce any results. You saw maybe something at some point, it was going fine. It was exactly what you wanted. It was exactly going the way you predicted. And all of a sudden, everything stops, everything shuts down. And you wonder, did I make a mistake? Did I miss something? Or am I even in the wrong place? Was it even what I was supposed to do? Or was this thing for me, whether it be a relationship or whether it be a business, whether it be, something that you really felt at some point that it was yours. It was for you to do it and to pursue, and you felt the excitement and you were so determined to go after. And all of a sudden, you don't feel that same level of energy. You don't feel that same excitement. You don't really have the same expectation or even the same dreams anymore. So I just want to encourage you and to even help you to reassess where you are and what it means. Because sometimes when we reach that point, it's just a signal for us to just let go and just release it and end it. Just put an end to it. You know that you've reached the end and you just have to exit. Keep your dignity and just exit. Exit out of the relationship, exit out of the contract, exit out of that place, exit out of that initiative, whatever it is. But you know that that's what you have to do. But today, that's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about when you know that it's the end and you just have to get out completely and shut that door and just seek for another one or something, another adventure. I don't really want to call it an adventure, but just seek for the next opportunity, because you know that this is the end of that season. You fulfill the assignment, you've completed the mission, and you can walk out and go to the next. But I really want to highlight today, it's when you are in a season and you feel like you hit a plateau, you hit a ceiling. You don't see a way forward. You don't see what's coming next, but yet you don't know if it's really the end. You're not sure if it's the end. You can't tell. There's nothing that really tells you. It's like you see the wall, but you're not sure what the wall means. And I just want to share that with you real quick. About 3 years ago, I opened an online boutique. and it was doing fine. At first you're all excited and you have your goals that you set and you hit those goals, and I mean you get new clients and all that, and I love to create, I love to design. And at some point, you just keep on going, and everything seems to work according to your plan, or at least when you start, you can understand, or you can even give excuse as to why it's not maybe going the way you want, because of course, when it's a new business, it's not automatically just going to skyrocket. It takes time to build a business. It takes time to build your clientele. So you keep on going, but after 1 year, after 2 years, and almost reaching the 3 year mark, I had to reassess. I had to really make that list and make that inventory, and find out, am I still supposed to continue? Am I still going the right way? And that's the question I want you to ask yourself. Or maybe you've already had you've already asked yourself the question, and maybe you didn't find an answer. And for me, when I did that, I had to seek the face of God. I had to seek the face of the Lord. And I asked him, because I knew when I started, I knew what I heard. I knew what he showed me. I wrote the vision just like he instructed us. Write the vision, make it plain. And I did write the vision, I made it plain, but I didn't see. So I felt like, did I miss him? Did I go too fast, or did I not obey? Was there something maybe that I left behind that I need to go back to, or what's going on? And when you feel stuck, that's the question you ask yourself. What's going on? Why do I feel like that? Is it maybe, are you asking me to just let go? And when I asked, because I was looking at my inventory, I was looking at my supplies and the materials that I had, and it felt like I was sitting, like you feel like you sit on a pot of gold. And I said to myself, maybe it's better if I just sell all the materials instead of wasting my time, instead of doing something that I don't feel like is productive. And when I asked the Lord, what I realized, He told me, this is not the end. You just have to change method. You just have to change strategy. And that's what I want to share with you today. That is not the end. You just have to pivot. You just have to change strategy. You have to look and find a new direction, or you have to reinvent yourself. And when I say reinvent yourself, I mean there's something inside of you that you haven't used yet. There is something inside of you that you haven't touched yet. There is an idea. There is a tool that you haven't pulled out of your bag. Just like I was trying to continue with the same knife, but it wasn't the right knife. It didn't mean that I had to drop or stop prepping. It just meant for me that I just had to pick up another knife. And today I'm here to tell you, pick up another knife. Pick up another knife. Don't just drop everything completely because you don't see results. Maybe it's the tool that you're using right now that is not sharp enough. You need something that will bring you to the next level, that will bring you into the next dimension. But it doesn't mean that you just give up completely. Just change. Don't be afraid to readjust. Don't be afraid to recalibrate. Don't be afraid. And last week I shared, if you were able to listen to the episode from last week, and I was sharing about how do we get to our destiny, the way, and I was talking about the gifts that we have, and they are tools to help us fulfill our mission and to help us fulfill our destiny. So in your bag of tools, in all the gifting and in all the talents, in all the thoughts and the ideas, maybe there is something that you haven't used yet. Maybe there's something that you haven't pulled yet, either because you haven't discerned that it's the tool that you need in the season, or maybe you're not even aware that you have it, that you possess it, because sometimes we look around, we look at things that are external without realizing that the solution is within us. And I love that, because the day I realized that everything that I'm called to do, I already possess. Everything that we do, we're not doing it from a place like a lower level, trying to reach a higher level, but we are already there. We already have it. It's like we are already at the end, because the Bible even tells us that God knows everything. He knows everything already. The end from the beginning. He knows the end from the beginning. So when we start something, He already sees the end, and He's already placed those things inside of us, but it's a journey. So along the way, we just have to pull different tools, different ideas, different methods, different strategies that will lead us to that place, that will lead us to that, to make sure that all that is inside of us can come out and exactly be what He called those things to be. So again, I'm just here today to encourage you, to say this is not the end. It's just time for you to pivot. It's just time for you to turn, to shift. It's time to dig deeper and find that resource within you that you haven't tapped into yet. To find that idea that you haven't pressed in and squeezed even out of you. Everything is in you. Maybe there are gifts and there are talents that are still dormant within you. And now I even hear the Lord saying, now it's time for you to pull those things out. Now I want you to reach down and to reach very deep within you and just excavate those things. Pull them out and up. And for me, when I did that, I felt like that was exactly what God was telling me. Because instead of looking at it like it's the end, instead of looking at it like I just had to release it, I realized that it was just making a turn. I just had to look, just change direction. I just had to make that small adjustment, and it didn't even take much. And all of a sudden, I received so many signs and so many confirmation, even within that same week, within that same time frame, when I was able to just launch new things and to just recalibrate. And today, that's really what I feel like the Lord wants you to hear, wants you to know. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on that business. Don't give up on that idea. Don't give up on that relationship. Just adjust. Just turn. It's time to pivot and ask the Lord, how do I pivot? How do I make that change? And it will show you. Ask Him to highlight what's in your toolbox, what's in your bag that you haven't pulled out yet, what's in your heart that you haven't released yet, that you haven't tapped into. And allow the Holy Spirit to lead you and to show you and to even renew your strength and renew your hope, to give you the right strategies that you need, so that your time will not be wasted, so that you will not feel frustration, you will not feel overwhelmed, and you will find that new passion again. So my prayer for you today is that you hear the word of the Lord and that you just hold on and you see the new direction that He wants to take you in, and you pivot exactly the way He wants you to, and you will set an example even for other people to follow. So may God bless you, and I cannot wait to talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to Swords, Spears, and Arrows with Camille Babin. If you would like to find out more, check our website, www.havilasolutions.com, or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Havila Solutions. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any episode.